Hey, good morning. Happy Take Out the Trash Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. I actually had a soft taco yesterday. I wrote something about that in one of the chats I was covering, just watching, to try and get information yesterday about how there had been an announcement that Taco Bell was bringing back some classic items that they had retired. It was no longer on the menu. And I have, for quite a long time, said that I stopped eating there when they got rid of the Mexi Melt because it was very small, it was very cheap, and I don't like to eat a lot of food. So I went there for lunch yesterday and asked for it, and they're like, no, we don't have it. And I'm like, lunch ruined. Lunch ruined. So I just got a soft taco, and I know that's probably more than you need to know. But anyway, the discussion about Eugenia's hair is coming up again. And I do have some thoughts on this, because as many of you know, I was a cosmetologist for like 5 years. It was a long time ago. It was in the 90s, but I do know a thing or two. So, like when everybody was jumping into the chats and talking about like how Chantel didn't know what was in the jar at barber shops that's blue, y'all kept saying barbicide. It's called quaternary ammonia compound, and cosmetologists have to use it too. We use the same jars for our combs, but we also have to take all of our soiled equipment, because you can only use a brush on one person before you have to then clean it in quats, which is the shorthand for it. So pretty much anybody in the industry would actually know that term, but I get how you all see barbicide on the side of the jar and think that that's a brand name. That's not what it is, but okay.
Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. We are going to pick up where we left off from my most recent Eugenia upload. In that episode, we took a look at some of her TikToks and some of the stuff that went on with Jeffrey and then Timu Paul, and yeah, there really wasn't too much that went on in this first part of the live stream, but we can go on and see if part 2 is a little bit more eventful. I think I was right around like 2 hours, 49-ish minutes. All right, well, let's see if there's anything taking a look.
So look at what, unless she has it flipped, which sometimes she does flip the camera, but if that is straight on, her right shoulder has very stringy hair coming down. And I know she likes to do those fake little ponytails, and Amber Lynn's been trying to copy her lately. But I don't think that even by trying to dress yourself up like a freaking kid, that you would have so few strands of hair coming down at this point. So I think the concern should be more so about hair loss due to lack of nutrients.
God.
Like, I guess.
But I do just want to repeat that I am not a mental health professional. I'm not a doctor. I can't really tell her what's wrong. But I was a licensed cosmetologist, and we generally go through 7 different changes in our lifetime of what our hair is going to look like. And things that are kind of this severe are usually due to lack of nutrients. Like, for instance, I don't know what's going on with Chantel. It might be lack of nutrients as well, because she may have, at this point, through the overeating, through the party favors, done so much damage to her organs that they're not properly processing nutrients anymore, which I think she's already kind of admitted is what's going on, because she's talking about like having kidney infections and enlarged heart, the extra fat around the organs, the non-alcoholic fatty liver. She's having all kinds of organ failures. And I mean, fortunately, she still has all those organs. There are some that have been pulled out because of her lack of taking care of herself, right? But here's kind of the same thing on the reverse side of the spectrum for EDs.
Like last month now, and it was a lot of fun. Like, yeah, I was kind of like there for my birthday, actually. And
By the way, if the audio does not match up with her lips, it's because the screen recording screwed up or something, or TikTok server was lagging.
it was a really good time. You want
So if you look at the part, it is very thin. The part on what appears to be her right side, but like I said, sometimes she uses a camera angle that kind of flips what side we're looking at. So that might be the left as far as I know. But if it is a straight on shot, that's the right side. And that part looks like it doesn't just look like breakage, which is part of it, because if you don't get enough vitamins and nutrients coming out in your hair, there will be. And I don't know if she colors her hair. I'm not sure if she does. But we're going to talk about her bathing habits in a second here too.
to know if you're missing something? No. Wait, what do you mean? Are you missing something? I don't think so. No, they're not gray hairs, you guys. Okay. Sometimes people will mention that to me, be like, "Oh, is that like gray hair?" like whatever, and it's not. It is actually just like hairspray, and sometimes some products will kind of like get in my hair a little bit, but
No, I don't think so. Right? I mean, it could be both things here, right? It looks like, based on the video footage that Jordy's going to show us from last year, that her hair was much fuller and thicker. So I don't know why she keeps parting in the same place if it's causing breakage and coming apart. I agree. I don't think she's probably has enough gray hair for people to really actually see it. Not like me. Like, my whole head's salt and pepper now. That's why I kind of gave up on coloring it. But I think what she is trying to tell us but isn't telling us is that she's using dry shampoo. I think she's using dry shampoo. And I don't think she is washing her hair at home. I don't think she knows how to properly do it. I don't think she's using the right product line. So when she's tried, it probably gets tangled up. She mentioned something about using Tresemme hairspray. If you have such thin hair like this, then you better get a good conditioner and start at the ends and work your way up. You can't be just like willy-nilly throwing the shampoo all over the place, right? And she needs to be taking showers rather than baths, because she can't have her hair floating around in the water. It's got to have a steady stream of water coming down to help prevent knots. She could also have spray conditioners, like leave-in conditioners and stuff like that, that would help her out. But more and more, I'm getting the impression that the only time she washes her hair is when she goes to the salon.
That's all that is, actually. Should we do, someone just requested me for a battle. I feel bad.
Well, Eugenia's hair has always been a controversial topic of conversation among her viewers. I mean, I won't even make commentary. I'm not even going to make commentary. So, the girl that you see on the screen as of...
Well, I'll make some commentary. She should not be wearing pigtails. If her hair is this brittle, she's pulling it out by doing stuff like that. And when you look at the times that she just lets it down, it does look fuller. And when you get to this part of the conversation, I'll tell you why it looks fuller after a salon visit.
August 15th, 2024. Let's go ahead and take a look at a video that I put up a little over a year ago. What have I been covering Eugenia now? A little over a year and a half-ish? Let's just see in a year and a half if anything has changed. I know that a lot of people like to talk about her slurping. A lot of people like to talk about her mouth. A lot of people like to talk about her teeth, her hair.
Yeah, her gum lines are receding. So it's really, I mean, watching all of these ED channels is kind of freaky, because I know Chantel kind of went into a rant yesterday about how Muslims don't believe in assisted suicide, right? But then most of the chatters were like, but you're doing it yourself. You're doing a slow suicide by what you're eating and how you're treating your health and how you're not really consistent about your medicines and all of that, right? So there's always going to be excuses in spinning.
I don't think that there's really much commentary for me to provide. I think that if things are changing, we collectively all know why. But I don't know. Let's just take a look at here. Let's just go back to one of the first ever reactions that I did of Eugenia. Okay, so this one was from June of last year. I mean, in this shot right here, her hair does look more full.
Okay, but notice, and like I said, this depends on if she's using a straight-on camera angle or has the flip thing going on where it's reversing her image. So we don't know one way or the other what we're looking at here, but it's parted on the other side. Do you see that? And she doesn't have the pigtails in. And she's not covered in slut makeup, right? So she looks pretty good.
I will say, oh gosh, I think that this was right around when Gothic Beach came out. Oh boy. Can y'all believe it's been a year since Gothic Beach already?
Wow.
I mean, it looks more dark. I will say it doesn't look as frail. It does look different.
The part on the other side, though, also, it still looks kind of thin. Like, you can see right down to the scalp like that. But it's not as thin as what we saw in the other video. Now, why would it look fuller after a salon visit? It's because when you have a hairdresser do your hair, they can see your entire scalp, right? Like, I can't see the back of my head. You can't see the back of your head. Even if you have the most clever mirrors in the world, you're not going to be able to cleanse your hair as well as a hairdresser can. And especially if it's that long. That's a lot of maintenance, right? There are even salons that are long hair specialists. I saw them around more so in the 80s when there was a lot of hair bands out up in the Hollywood area. But there are salons that very much specialize in doing long hair. So if she's relying on the salon to clean her hair and probably blow dry it, which will fluff it up a bit, put some product in it so it's, you know, not getting frizzy or whatever, and maybe even flat ironing it. So we're talking about a lot of additional things that can make her hair break, right? But then on top of it, she goes home, and what? I don't think she's cleaning her hair at home, you guys.
But, I mean, again, I don't think that there's really much to say. I think that we all kind of, oh my gosh. See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about that she was doing not even a year ago.
So gross.
I mean, I will say her content has changed, but it's only changed because it has had to change. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Because if she kept doing stuff like this, she wouldn't be on the platform. Wouldn't get to hang out with Jeffrey, wouldn't get to battle with Jeffrey and the friends and be a part of things and everything. But this, in my opinion, what we're looking at right here, this is the kind of content that Eugenia would like to put out. And honestly, she still could. YouTube doesn't have a problem with it. All of her...
I don't know if that's true, Jordy. I think that the only reason she's not having as many problems with YouTube is that it's not her primary platform. She's not trying to raise herself up on that platform as much, and so she's a little bit under the radar. But yeah, that's what are you doing, girl? You're like, look at how tiny my arm is and how big my elbow is. That is glorifying her ED. And now her hair looks like shit. Period. It does.
Same videos are still up on YouTube. She could come to YouTube and dance around and do all the stuff that she used to do on Twitch and other platforms and everything. But we've just been seeing a very more reserved version of Eugenia because TikTok does not allow for this kind of stuff as much as some of the other platforms do.
Well, maybe.
Conflict, drought, and extreme weather have caused...
Hope that's okay. I don't know. Hi, Sierra. How are you? A scalp tour? No, you guys don't need a scalp tour. But sometimes, like, I love my Tresemme Freeze, but you will see it kind of will, like, give my hair, like, that weird, like, gray effect sometimes. Because it does leave, like, see, you'll kind of see, like, a residue. It's just a really strong hairspray. So, see, I can literally, like, pull out. Like, I'm not lying about it. Some people are like, you're lying. I'm like, no.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, girl. Are you spraying it directly on your scalp? Are you basically giving yourself cradle cap? Like, because it looks like you're using dry shampoo.
No, that's just kind of...
Okay. It's just a really strong hairspray. All right, well, that's what we're going to go with, I guess. We're just going to blame it on the...
Honestly, I haven't bought hairspray in years, but I'm not even entirely sure that aerosol sprays exist anymore unless they've like somehow completely changed the formula, because there was a big deal about that in the 80s where they pulled pretty much early 90s, maybe mid 90s, where they pretty much pulled everything off of the market because of the hole in the ozone layer that was over Australia.
Products. Someone actually asked her for a scalp tour.
Mm-hmm.
Where do people...
Yeah, somebody fucking did that to me the other day, too. Show me a picture of the knot in the back of your head from where you fell. You know, guys, first of all, I can't see the back of my head. But second of all, what kind of rude assholes show up to my channel and demand shit like that? Everybody's lying. Everybody's lying, you guys. Mm-hmm.
People come up with this shit. Like asking, can I have a house tour? A scalp tour.
Mm-hmm.
What happens with this spray, unfortunately. But yeah. But that's all that is. Yeah, it's what.
Well, you heard it from her first. That's all that is.
Okay.
I know that this will continue to progress. It will continue to deteriorate. And I think that
she'll probably have a just below the shoulder length bob by next year, Jordy.
only thing that can be leaned into in terms of having a response to the audience is going to be blame it on the products, blame it on genetics, blame it on the quality of the camera, the filters. I don't know. So unfortunately, it's just going to be more of this to come. It's going to be everything and anything that isn't what everyone is thinking.
But yeah, but that's all that is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's whatever with, like, you know, some people saying that, because it's like, you know, I know what it is, but it's like, yeah, it's just my hairspray.
Is that what they're calling slurping, this mouth smacking that she does? I know I do it too, but like, I'm a lot older than her and I've been a smoker most of my life, so I probably have more of a dry mouth than she does. But that would, again, signify that she's not drinking enough water, she's not she doesn't have enough nutrients going through her blood to get the hair full. Her gum lines are receding. I don't think we're gonna see anything until she feels damaged. Like, she right now thinks she is hot as shit, right? It's not gonna, for her, I know this doesn't matter for some of the other ED channels, but for her, it's gonna be when teeth start falling out.
It's kind of with that sometimes. Oh yeah, no, Jennifer, there's nothing wrong with gray hair at all. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. And yeah, Becca, some people do get gray hair really young. It's definitely not that it's a bad thing. So I also wouldn't want anyone to think it was like I was saying it was bad. If it was great, I would just tell you guys. But honestly, I don't believe that I've gotten gray hairs.
I mean, in all honesty, like, if I'm just looking at her head on right now, like, yeah, it kind of looks like there might be a streak of gray here and there, but more so, it's the volume, it's the frailty of it,
right?
That sticks out to me.
Well, and also, I don't know that we really know what her color, what her natural color is. It's pretty difficult to color long hair and get it evenly applied. And so that might be part of the reason that there's some streaking going on there. because they could have had 2 to 3 stylists working on her at the same time to try and get all of that color on, and timely, because you don't want it sitting on part of your scalp for much longer than another part of your scalp, right? But with dark colors, you're going to start in the front and end by the occipital bone and neck. Because the front of your hairline is always going to be lighter than the back. It gets more sun, right? Bleaches out just naturally. So that could be an explanation for the streaking, but it is... She's either getting really bad haircuts where they're volumizing too much. They're like trying to get in there and cut a bunch of it out. Or she's losing it. She's losing her hair is what I'm saying. Anyway, I'll just go a little bit longer, but I'm going to not do this whole video. I'll just leave the link to Jordy's video.
And she just made a mention here of saying it's fine that people say those kinds of things because I know the truth. I know that I don't have gray hair. I know that it's just the Tresemme freeze that's doing this and making it look this way. I really wonder deep down if she herself believes that. If it's truly just the products.
Yeah.
Or if maybe she knows that.
No, I mean, her stylist would have told her. So, there is nobody that knows your scalp better than your stylist. You know, separating it into 4 partitions, then parting it off again and again and again to do the cuts, and you basically have to look at every spot on that scalp of your client, right? That's how hairdressers generally will catch things like eczema and lice before anybody else.
Things like this are inevitable. She just didn't realize that the day would actually come. Because I would imagine for an illness like this, when you...
And when I say catch, I'm not saying that they catch it, you know, because they have sanitary procedures, right, to make sure that it's not being transferred. I'm saying they will see it on their client before the client goes to a doctor, or before the client has a child in school that gets inspected by the nurse, because that usually only happens like once a year, right? And kids play in sandboxes a lot. So, it's gonna be your hairdresser that's like, hey, you got some white eggs here in your scalp. We need to do something about that. I can't work on you until you treat this. Right? And that's going to be really painful for somebody with long hair like that, because you got to use one of those super fine combs to, and not only do you have to comb out all the eggs and all the bugs and everything, but then you also have to put the medicine all over your head, right? I know back in the 80s they used to just buzz kids if they got it, but technically you're not supposed to do that either, because then what, you gotta throw away your pair of buzzers? When I was in a children's salon, we had a hairdresser who she didn't transfer it, but she saw it on 2 different kids. And as soon as she determined that these kids had lice, she told the parent, you're going to have to take your child to the doctor for XYZ reasons. And she threw away her shampoo cape, immediately put her combs in quaternary ammonia compound, and had to throw away a lot of stuff because you don't know if they're like jumping out of the hair and landing on the chair, right? So you have to spray down the chair with an alcohol rub. There's a lot involved with making sure that you don't transfer what this child has to a child in the next chair sitting next to them, right?
You are in the state of mind and in the physical state that you want to be in, things are right as rain. You're happy. You look the way that you want to look. You feel the way that you want to feel. And you're not really thinking about those consequences that are going to come eventually. Because those consequences come a lot quicker than you realize. They sneak up on you. So I think that we have been beginning to see those consequences sneak up on Eugenia and kind of affect her appearance as a result.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I know that like the semantics here of using the word consequence, I don't mean that in the sense of she's deserving of this. What I mean by using the word consequence is the actions of having this ED and what it will eventually wreak on your body.
Yes, exactly. You're going to be able to see it in her skin, her eyes, her teeth, obviously her lack of muscle mass, her hair. All of this is going to make it very visible, right? So what I'll do from here, thank you very much, oh lordy, it's Jordy, for covering this content. It looks like you go on for another 40 some odd minutes discussing this, and that's not exactly what I want to do with my morning, but I did have some thoughts just that I wanted to throw in here. And thank you again, and I hope everybody has a great Tuesday. Take care.